into N1. We're recording with Belle Wiffen. Did I say it right?
Yeah. How you going, Yogi
Hey, how's it
Bryan?
going? Yes, thank you so much for coming on the show. You're one of my favorite people. I mean, we work
Oh,
together on the Med Collective app, and we're going to talk about that in the show. But how the heck are you doing?
I'm so good. I live in Brisbane in Australia and it's super tropical here. And I wake up every morning to a gorgeous view of the river. And actually, then the chaos starts because my children wake up to go to high school and and then they leave and it's peaceful again.
And then it's
But
peaceful again. That's the
yeah,
life there. I need to come visit one of these days. You're in the future right now. I think you're 18 hours ahead. It's Friday over there, right?
yeah, it's Friday morning for me.
Awesome. Yeah, and I'm in Phoenix and it's Thursday when we're recording this. So yeah, Belle is in the future.
Yeah. And now, and a little while ago, all at once at the same time.
Right. Whoa. Mind blown. Mind blown. And you have a cool setup in your background. Everybody, if you're listening to the audio, you gotta check it out on YouTube. But Belle has a cool background. What's that background about?
Well, actually, that's just a painting that I like. I think that might be Greece. And it's actually covering up the network system for our house. You know, all the Ethernet cables are plugged in there. So
I
it's much
see.
nicer to look at a nice painting than Ethernet cables.
Right? Yeah, exactly. It does. I mean, you look like a
Mm,
pro here.
yeah, I look like a pro, and we can choose these virtual backgrounds if we want. But
That's true. That
yeah.
is true. That is true. So, first question off the bat, tell me something, tell us something that maybe most people don't know about you.
Hmm. Well, a lot of people meet me and they think that I'm very outgoing and extroverted and I love to be around people. And I do, and I love that. But I'm actually an introvert at heart.
Introvert,
Yeah. And I love my own time. And I just love to like have my meditations anytime I want. And I love to create and think. And maybe I'm a Gemini. Maybe I have a busy mind.
yeah,
Meditation helps me with that. But yeah, I actually love my own time. That's where I get most energized.
get most energized. And do you find creativity in your own time? Like, are you like a thinker, like in your own time, where you're just
Yeah, I
like
am.
kind of out there thinking?
I'm thinking a lot. I drive my husband mad. He
Do you
he's
always come up with random ideas, or you're like, oh, I should do this, or oh, I should do that?
Yes, I do. And we actually have a lot of different projects in our life. I have multiple businesses and I've got 3 property developments going on at the moment. I love to design homes and I love to renovate and I love building businesses and the Med Collective app is actually my main focus and meditation, except after that comes all of this other stuff. So I always have a lot of creativity going, and especially when you're creating in your life, and then you're seeing stuff turning up, and there's things materializing everywhere. And sometimes you go, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, universe! Can you just slow down for a second? Because like there's too much stuff coming. Like I don't know how to, I don't know how to process all of this at once."
Right? You're like, chill,
Mm.
universe. Chill, you abundant AF universe.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, let's talk about Med Collective. So you are the owner or co-owner with your husband, right? Of the Med Collective. Talk about that because I love the app. So just tell people that don't know about the Med Collective what the Med Collective is.
Thank you. Well, the Med Collective is a beautiful app that we created to help people go to the next level of meditation and exploring consciousness. Myself and my partners, I actually have some other partners as well, and they're music producers and video producers, and they do all of our content. And we're all mad meditators, and we all love doing like crazy experimental stuff. We've all been meditating. Well, I've been meditating for around 20 years. And you know, it's great in the beginning and you kind of learn the relaxation stuff, but after you get more skilled, you start learning all of the cool kind of quantum hacks and 5D skills and stuff you can do. And so for the people that have begun meditating and they're ready just to try something new and start experimenting and pushing themselves to a new level, that's who we've created the Med Collective app for. And then we've been very careful about the guides that we've invited onto the app, because we wanted to really bring people onto the app that we knew were going to give people just a really deep and profound experience. And which is why we invited you, Yogi Bryan.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
And you allow meditation guides with face tattoos, which I just got one. So thank you for being so
Mm.
cool, for having your meditation guide be able to have a heart tattoo on his face. So
You're sharing the love. That's
sharing
very
the
good.
love, sharing
Yeah.
the love. And I
But
love the Med Collective app. It looks so nice on the eyes. And I like that you can customize your meditations. You can be like a meditation DJ. You can be like, I like this,
yes.
I like that.
Yeah, you can. And, that's a part of the app that we've noticed that people aren't experimenting with as much yet. But, it's okay. So we're bringing people in and they're meeting our guides and they're experiencing the playlists that we make for them. But then once they've been in the app a little bit of time, they can start experimenting and creating. So it's just like making your own playlist, but you can choose from all different guides and things like that. But the reason we've put that there is because transformation looks different for every person. And if you have an experience and oh, this person said that, or I listened to that music when I went to that place. If you want to recreate that experience or like refine it or tweak it a bit, when you're creating your own playlist, you can add in like a shorter or a longer piece or add in a breathwork piece in the middle. And so you can keep refining and peaking your own experience.
Yeah, and send you to the cosmos.
Yeah.
Hey, you don't need a SpaceX rocket. You just need the Med Collective app to get you to the moon.
Yeah.
Shoot you off, shoot you
Yeah.
off. But so you've been meditating 20 years.
Yeah, to be honest, committed probably for 10 years, and dabbling for 10 years before that. But yeah, around 20 years.
Like, how did that start? Like, what was your first meditation? Like, what got you into it?
Mm, well, my father is a professor in genetics, and my mother is like an entrepreneurial, spiritual, like wildflower that loves to experiment. And so I grew up with my father being very black and white and scientific. And then my mother had all these clairvoyant friends and they'd tell our future, and they found missing people and weird, unexplainable stuff. And even though I couldn't see it and it wasn't tangible, it just set me off as a seeker from a really young age. And I went through all the religions. When I was 12, I was a born again Christian and I used to go to church and was trying to figure out what's going on. Experimented with Buddhism and key energy, and I just came to the point that, like, wow, I think science and religion actually go together here. And
Mm,
I kind of just started going down that path. And when you're exploring consciousness and the unknown, meditation comes in as a kind of a tool that you can use to explore that. So that's why I started on the meditation journey, just trying to figure out what the fuck are we doing
yeah.
here?
What the fuck is life? What
Yeah.
was your first? What was your earliest? That's awesome. That's cool, and I can relate to your story, especially with like venturing in different religions. I was that way. Like my family like was Christian. I grew up Christian, and then I became a Christian rapper like for a little bit. There's a little history of I was a Christian rapper for a little bit, but then I learned just more of the religions like Buddhism and just some of the other religions, and I'm like, oh, they're pretty much like similar. And then I just developed more of like a spirituality, and like yoga meditation has been like my go-to, especially meditation. So I can definitely relate to you to figure out like what the fuck is going on with the universe and the world, and like there's so many synchronicities going on. When what was like your first aha moment when you were meditating, when you just like had a profound meditation experience? Do you remember that first moment?
Mm, yeah, I used to do this holosync stuff. And it's like this audio technology that you play in your ears, and it gives you this whole brain state. And I used to just listen to it every morning. And I don't know how they do it. It's special technology I think it's made in California, Holosync Institute, Centerpoint Institute. Just Google Holosync if you want to know about it. It's really cool. You can actually, it drops you into a deep state without you even knowing how to meditate.
I'm gonna Google this right afterwards.
Oh, it's so cool. And then you just feel your brain just going, whoa, like, and now what I understand to be brain coherence, the more coherent your brain is, the deeper state you can attain. And then you open yourself up for really cool experiences if you can get coherent brain waves. So I think that's what it was doing to me. And weird shit happened. Like through the day, weird, unexplainable stuff was happening. And
like
I remember, just out of character things and you know yeah, there's this, my husband did this really strange thing totally out of character, which I probably won't say, but I was like, did you just do that? And he's like, whoa, did I just do that? And I was like, and then I was talking to my friends and stuff that were doing this holosync as well, and they were noticing really weird out of character stuff happening for them as well. But I think when your brain's going through a lot of changes and like maybe your subconscious and conscious are acting differently, or you're connecting into different things, frequencies and fields, you know, when you tune into stuff, some weird unexplainable things can happen. And that's the whole thing when you enter into this world. Like, we always try to explain things in our 3D reality, but in the unknown, that's where the cool shit happens, and you can't always explain stuff. But yeah, that was my first meditation experience. And another early meditation that I did that I really loved, and I still actually use it now, is this really simple candle meditation. And you just open your eyes and you just look at a candle flame and you stare at it for a while. And then you close your eyes and you can see like the candle flames etched in your brain, and you just like focus on the candle light. And then you open your eyes and you look at the candle again, and you just keep doing that for like 10 minutes.
Oh, wow.
And it's really basic, but now I use the center of my brain, like my pineal gland, as an interdimensional portal. So I can like trip to places, and like it's the place that I can go to get my brain coherent really quickly. And that candle was the beginning of that for me. And it's right in the center of my head, like the little light right in the center of my head.
That is powerful. I'm going to use that. I really like that. I've been doing a meditation in the mornings where I actually stare at a incense burner. So it's kind of, the candle's like inside the incense burner. So it's has a little like mesh. So I'm not just staring directly at the candle. But yeah, it's candle gazing is powerful, but I'm going to do that where I close my eyes and see it and get some gland action in the head. Pineal gland. I can't say it.
Man, it's a powerful thing.
Yeah,
super powerful.
portal.
But hey, what I've noticed with the Med Collective and the artwork you were talking about earlier, sometimes like we've designed the app so that it's all dark, but then it has these beautiful images, and you can choose the image to go with your meditation, or the images that we've chosen for the guides. They're there. Just before you meditate, before you close your eyes, you're looking right at this beautiful artwork. And because it's kind of bright and colorful, and then you close your eyes, and sometimes I've been meditating and just randomly the artwork from the app is just like some weird geometric pattern has just like appeared in the middle of my meditation. I'm like, whoa, what is that? Going like the images linger and then they pop up out of nowhere.
You're doing some subliminal stuff to us, so like in the background.
Right.
Right. Just no, I love how the app does look. Like it's very easy on the eyes. Like that was the first thing that I noticed, where I'm just like, easy. It just gets my eyes settled. Then I can close my eyes and just get into the zone.
Yeah.
What's your most powerful meditation you've ever done? Like out of body experiences. Let's talk. Let's get woo woo here.
Let's go woo woo.
Yeah.
Disclaimer: woo woo coming. If you can't handle it, turn it off.
Turn it off.
Yeah. My most powerful experiences happened when I've done a series of meditations. So, you know, I'm offered a week-long retreat or something like that. Because with the daily meditation, you know, there's kind of stuff happening. You're working on creating your day, like you're just working on like relieving stress from your teenage kids or
Right.
whatever
Trying
the
not to
stuff.
flip out.
Yeah. Trying to quieten the animal. But then when I've been at a retreat and like, the first day you're busy and your head's working through all your stuff. But then the second and the third day, everything just disappears and your body just starts to become really light and there's no more thoughts left. Like they're all gone. And then you're really starting to prime yourself for some really cool stuff. And one experience I had, I was doing a walking meditation. And the theme of the event that I was at was syntropy. And actually, I best not stare at your mandala too long in case I have that experience again. But so the theme of the event was syntropy. Syntropy is the opposite of entropy. Entropy is death and everything going to shit, right? And syntropy is moving towards order, from chaos to order, and everything becoming more elegant and starting to move synchronously together. And as the frequency becomes more elegant, it also picks up speed and momentum. So it's a really powerful frequency to tune into. And so like I'm walking along in this walking meditation. We were in Portland, walking down the river there. And I was opening my heart, because the heart center is a really powerful place. And you can, when you're in that state of gratitude, you're a master on gratitude. When you're in that state of gratitude, you're so whole, and you're in such a beautiful state to just see things for what they really are and see the beauty. And it's a really powerful state. So I was walking along and could feel myself in gratitude. And then I was like, yeah, so show me the syntropy. And then when I said, show me the syntropy, I think because I was so open, like all of a sudden my awareness just went boof, like opened like 20-fold, 100-fold. My awareness just opened so big, so quick. And all of a sudden I could just see, like, there were people everywhere and birds and stuff. I could see the river, the patterns on the river, like moving simultaneously, and all the birds just moving in perfect harmony and order, and the people moving in order, and the leaves on the trees and everything in the whole environment just went into this perfect order. And it was so incredible that it dropped me to my knees. And it was actually, I saw that first and I was like, fuck, that felt good. Keep walking for a bit, open my heart. I'm like, let's milk this. Okay, let's open my heart a bit more. Show me some more syntropy. Next minute, boof. I felt like, what's his name? Zeus shooting me with a lightning stream out of the heavens. And I got this bolt of light that just surged through me, and it collapsed me to the ground. And I was having this, like, might look like an epileptic fit or something. Like I'm letting it all out here today, Brian.
I love
not
it.
holding,
I'm
not
there
holding
with you
back.
on this story. Like I'm
Yeah.
there.
So I'm on the ground, in the grass, in the mud. I didn't really know where I was, except I was just having this amazing experience, and my whole body was filled with light and energy. And I just, someone like came and tapped me, like one of the observers of the event that was taking care of us just came to let me know that I had my face in like a sewer drain. Oh. So like this concrete manhole to a sewer, and I had my face in it, and I was like, having this like incredible experience. And
Wow.
she's like, hey, can you be careful there, because you've got your face like in the concrete there. And it just scared me out of it. And I like came back for a minute, and I was like, oh, okay. And then I got up and I kept walking, and then it happened again. Like, because once you start those waves of energy, they start coming into you. And so like the first time was like a bit intense, and like when you drink too much alcohol all at once or something, you don't expect what's going to happen to you. Yeah. So that was like really full on. But then the next time it happened to me again, I fell down. I couldn't, like, my legs just collapsed. I couldn't walk. But I was just so filled with like bliss, like the feeling of love and bliss, and just so in awe of like the divine order that's all around us. And And when you have those experiences, you know, you can go back there. You can tune back into that. Once you've been there, once your awareness has been somewhere, you can tune back into that
Mm. So,
experience.
yeah, it's like once you
And
step through that realm, right? Once you step through that
mm,
door, it's like you know it's there.
mm, mm. And, you know, I think we just have these amazing tools in our body that we were given that can tune into frequencies and greater levels of consciousness. But we're all just trying to figure out how that works right now. And, you know, people like you who are avidly studying it and teaching us and sharing your learnings all the time. You know, these are the people that I want to get out to the world. So people can learn about the skills and tools that they have so they can have like these really cool experiences. And with that comes epiphanies about your life, like what's your life about, and it gives your life more meaning. And then you go on, and that has a butterfly effect on your family and your friends and the people that you're involved with. And you know, we're making the world a better place, y'all.
Yes, yes, yes. That story's so inspiring. And it's like, anyone listening, like when you're seeking that, when you're seeking bliss, like through like natural things like meditation or yoga or walking meditation, when you're seeking that, like you'll find it eventually, and that's a tough thing with like today is there's just so much distraction. There's the news or there's like the next show or there's something always distracting you to just take your attention away for like the short term. And I'm guilty of it. Like I like
Oh,
watching that stuff sometimes, and like you get caught up in a loop where you're just like, okay, I'm entertained. But then you feel like, once the entertainment's gone, there's like this sense of sadness or like you're not whole, or it's like I need more distraction. And like with your story right there, it's like you're on a walking meditation. You have those days to kind of just like kind of let go and be free. And like you
mm,
found the bliss. So it is that is inspiring. And that's like actually inspires me to like find more bliss in my days too. It's like just shut down some of the other things, like just get connected and like find that
yeah.
order.
Yeah, yeah, and it's around us. Like there is divine order around us. I am like, yeah, to me this is all in perfect divine order what we live in, and we have the ability to kind of create and mold our reality as we go along. But I want to add to what you just said then. Like sure, that's a great experience, but you know, this morning in my meditation, I had all sorts of shit going on in my head. Like I sat down to meditate, and sometimes, some days my meditations are amazing. Some days my meditations are a struggle. But the point is, sit your ass down and commit to it. And when I do that, my life is smoother. And when there's a lot of stuff going on in my life, it helps me manage. It just helps me be more cool. I don't react to stuff. I've got more bandwidth to tolerate a lot of stuff going on in my life, because I make myself sit down and do that work. And it's not always easy, but I think if you can just like commit even just to 10 or 15 minutes, you know, just try and get it done at one point in the day and just get it done, and then it's done. And
Yeah,
you're always
yeah,
getting better.
exactly. I like the thing that worked with me to get on a consistent meditation practice is to get it done in the morning. Like if I
Mm,
don't do it in the morning, like it doesn't happen sometimes. And then my whole day is thrown off. So like, the first thing I do when I wake up is like I write morning pages, just 3 pages of free flow consciousness. And then I sit for I try and do at least 20 minutes a day. And like you were saying, like some days that 20 minutes just flies and I'm like in the moment and I'm feeling zen and things are going well. And then other days, like that 20 minutes seems like a fucking hour. Like I'm just like, is my timer not going off? Like
yeah.
my timer should be going off like any minute. And then it's like, feels like an hour later and my timer still hasn't gone off. And I'm like,
Yeah.
and then it goes off. It was just 20 minutes and it felt so long.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel you.
But yeah,
Yeah.
it is, it is. like such a valuable practice. Like I can't even like it's just one practice like I'm never going to let go of, a meditation
Mm,
practice, because it's not that, like, yes, it can give you clarity, but it's like having the awareness of like what's going on in your mind, just being aware, like maybe this is a stressful day, and you can kind of
mm,
feel it like in the morning, you're just like, fuck, my mind's kind of all over the place, and
mm,
like
mm.
I might need to take it a little bit more easier, or like not react as much. But like there's other times where I'm just like, okay, I'm aware that I'm an asshole, and I might be an asshole today, but at least like I'm aware of it, so I won't. I'll be a nicer asshole. But I love
Yeah.
meditation.
There's also benefits to being an asshole. Sometimes people need to be assholed, or you know, you have that trait for we all have that trait. We can all be assholes, and there's benefits and drawbacks of both, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Both always exist.
Sometimes, like, yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah. But it's
exactly.
just being, I think, just being and
Yeah,
allowing it to be. Mm. But I love about meditation, Brian, that uh, it can have so many uses. Like, and for people that are just exploring it and learning it or finding out about it, you know, they might think, oh, meditation boring. I just have to sit and get over myself. But you know, you can use meditation for healing. You can use it for relaxation. You can use it to create stuff. You can use it to have a freaky mystical experience. Um, you can use it to create someone to call you, or like,
yes, I've done that. It's crazy. Works.
yeah, it's useful. Like I use it throughout my day. I use it like walking through the airport. Okay, I want an upgrade. I want an upgrade. How do I get an upgrade? Radiate love from my heart. Okay. And I just start opening my heart, and I'm walking along. I rock up at the hotel. Hey, how's it going? And then I'm going, give me an upgrade. And then they go, Miss Wiffen, I'm sorry. Your room doesn't seem to be ready. And I'm like, oh, it didn't work. And they go, would it be okay if we upgrade you? And in that moment, I'm like, oh, oops, sorry, universe. I didn't mean to doubt you right then. You were just giving me an upgrade. Okay. And then like I get this fully pimpin' suite that I wish I could have a party in, but there's just little old me there for my layover or whatever. Get upgraded into this massive suite, or you know, a business class upgrade, or
Yep.
so I use meditation. Well, you can call it meditation, but practice opening my heart through meditation, but walking along and opening my heart and radiating love and putting myself in a state of gratitude, then making a request, can I have an upgrade, and then receiving it.
Yes. Well, they say like everything is already there. Like we're just like
Mm,
filtered to not see what we can't see. So everything in our lives, from what I've like been taught, is like already there. So when you're like manifesting something, it's not like you're creating something brand new. Like you're just releasing that filter, and you're seeing what something else, another option for you.
mm,
So I love those manifestation stories. Like, what's your
mm.
process on manifestation? Like, you just feel it and just throw it out to the universe?
Yeah, I have a few different processes that I use. A few weeks ago, I just moved house into this new apartment, and we were doing a vacate from the other apartment, and I had the carpet cleaner and the cleaner going there, and I didn't know them. They're just random people I booked through an agent, and I left the key out for them, and I thought, you know, you guys are going to look after my place, and it's going to be clean and perfect, and the key's still going to be exactly where I want you to leave it, where I tell you to leave it. Anyway, of course, the key's gone, the key's missing, and it's got a special security fob on it, and you know, all of the locks in the place are going to need changing and everything if I can't find this key. And sorry, can you hear my messages going off there?
Oh yeah. Oh no, I can't hear it.
I'm sorry. Sorry, we might need to cut that bit out.
It's cool.
So yeah, I've lost the keys for this apartment, and I need to hand them back to the real estate agent that day. And I know if we can't find these keys, it's going to be $1,000 to change all the locks and everything. That's fine. It's just money, but there's a new tenant coming in, and I don't want to inconvenience them. I want them to be able to move in, and so I'm like, where's the keys? Travis, you sure you couldn't find the keys to my partner? And these keys are nowhere to be seen. And I was like, okay, come on, universe, give it to me. And my process, you asked me about my process. So it usually takes the point to get to like serious frustration before I actually decide to use the tools, which I could use in the first place. But then, so I just close my eyes for a moment, get present, get in a state of gratitude, and feel the keys sitting in my hands, and see the keys sitting in my hands, feel them sitting there, and then just feel the frequency of love and relief and gratitude that they turned up, and not ask how they got there or try and figure out or anything. Just like jump forward into the future or now and go, oh, there you are, keys, and feel it. And like, and you know, the brain and the universe doesn't know the difference between virtual reality or what's really happening. And if you have a
Yes.
physiological reaction in your body and your brain and the universe all think that it's just happened. So I go, oh yeah, I found the keys. Ooh. And then I let it go. And then I go to the apartment. I still can't find the keys. Okay, it's all right. They're going to turn up. And then I went to hand the one set of keys back to the agent. And I was very sheepish about it. Oh, here's the keys. And she goes, hello. And I said, you don't happen to have the other set of keys, do you? And she goes, actually, I do.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
And I was like, how'd you get them? And she goes, oh, I just went in to do an inspection. I didn't know if it was time or not, but I just thought I'd randomly go in and do an inspection. And I just found the keys and she took them.
Whoa.
And so like, I couldn't have predicted that happened, but I just did the work and I had to figure out, I had to just let it go and like, let them appear. But yeah, that's a very common. I taught my children how to do that when they were kids, you know, little kids. If they lost a toy or something like that, I'd get them in and go, okay, now come on, hold your hands out. Now close your eyes. Now imagine it in your hands. What does it feel like? How do you feel when you found it? Tell me how you feel when you found it. And they're
Yes.
like, oh yeah. And then I say, okay, now let go of it. You got to let go of it. You can't keep looking for it because then
Exactly.
you keep telling the universe you're separate from it. So you want to just let go of it and try not to think about it. And my kids learned from a young age how to manifest stuff that they lost with using that technique.
It's a powerful technique. You know,
Mm,
you feel it like it's here in the moment. So you get it in your whole physiology.
yep.
You get it in your body. Yeah. And then it's like you let it go. That's like
Yeah.
the most important part of it is like letting it go because from what I've learned is like if you're trying to force it, right? If you're trying to force
Mm,
it and like, where is it now? Okay, like I just manifested something. Where is it now? It's like the universe is like, whoa, bro, like give me some space. Like I need
yeah.
some space to like deliver it to you. Like it's not gonna deliver it to you like how you think it is. Like it's gonna be like how I think it is in the
Yeah.
fucking universe.
Yeah. On the fucking, listen, you 3D animal, just get out of the way. Get out
Right?
of the way. Yeah, totally. But I find like if it's a thing, if it's a physical thing, getting present like with what it feels like. Um, and then the magic juju, like when you radiate the feeling of love and gratitude that you already have it, that's like the magic fairy dust that you sprinkle on it. It doesn't work without getting present with the object and feeling that feeling. You got to radiate a good vibe of love, like proper
Yeah.
excitement
e-
and relief.
Exactly. Yeah, it can't be lack. You can't be rating like I don't have this.
Yeah. Or like,
You know,
oh,
like
maybe I found you. No. Yeah.
yeah, no maybes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fuck maybes. That should be a
Yeah.
new shirt or a new meditation.
Yeah.
Fuck maybe.
Yeah. Fuck maybe all in. Yeah.
I like it. I
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah.
What's so with all your businesses that you have you noticed when you started a manifestation process? Like, did you like like when you meditated, did you manifest all these businesses or like was it after thing? Like you had like your businesses and then you started manifesting after.
It's interesting, because I've manifested some businesses or something that I wanted, and then the universe gives me something different. And I'm like,
Oh,
no, that's not what I asked for. Why did you give me that? And then later, like a year later or 2 years later, you're like, oh God, that was so much better. That thing that you gave me that I couldn't see in that moment, like I was limiting myself by that thing I was asking for. And then you gave me this bigger, better thing that's got all this other stuff wrapped in it that actually is what I really wanted, but I didn't know I wanted it. And so, yeah, it's just navigating that and finding that deep level of trust that the universe has got your back. And sometimes when you're in 3D, especially when you get really focused and like really stuck in detail, it can really compromise your vision. If you have a big vision on something you want to create and then you get caught in little stuff, it can make you dense and like make you shrink, and then you like lose faith in your vision. But you kind of got to do the day-to-day mundane stuff, but stay focused on your mission and your purpose. And then the universe just keeps putting the pieces in place for you. And if you kind of go with the flow and go, interesting, and you see how that fits into your vision, you kind of keep going with it.
That's such good advice.
So
I'm going to listen to this over and over again. I got so much value from you.
Oh,
That's amazing. And it's
thank you.
true. It's like when you get focused on like how, like it needs to be this way, or like this is my goal, or like this is my goal, like it has to, and there's no wiggle room. I heard from my teacher David Snyder, who I recently did a training with. He sets intentions. He doesn't set goals. He sets intentions, because like who knows how the universe is going to deliver it to you. Like you got an intention, you kind of have your desire or your want or your need, and it's like you might have an idea. It's like, oh, yeah, let's build a map from here to there. That's where I want to go. But like we can change this map. Like there might be some other trails on this hiking path that will get there, to our intention. So yeah.
Yeah, you got to pivot a little bit. You got to be agile and pivot. But I think we were talking last week about email.
Yeah.
And my developer said to me, are you sending emails to your users and letting them know about all the wonderful things that you got going on? I was like, oh, actually, no, I send them a welcome email and then I totally forgot to like be emailing them all the time. And then, and so I thought maybe that's a good idea. And then later that night, I see a video from you saying, hey guys, share your email with me and I want to send you all this free stuff. And then I jump on a Clubhouse and this lady's like, yeah, old school, but email is the way to go. Like, don't forget to use email to engage your audience and share stuff with them. And it's such great real estate now because people aren't using email anymore. Like, anyway, so the universe is just going drop, 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 and like putting all of these signals in front of my face to show me that like, this is the path, like keep following this path. It's like breadcrumbs. Dropping breadcrumbs, and you get like this little universal feedback all the time. So if you put out an idea like, oh, I'm planning on this, if it's your business, I have this idea for this path I want to go down. If it's in line with your mission and your higher self and your goals and what you want to achieve, the universe will start giving you little breadcrumbs of confirmation to go, yep, feedback, yep, that's right, go that path there, right down there. Send your users an email. Okay. Send an email. I love you guys.
I love that. Well, they say, well, I don't know who said it, but I've heard it where it's like if 3 people tell you the same thing, like you listen to that. If like one person says, like, gives you feedback on like, hey, maybe you need to do this, you're like, all right, that's one person. But if you're like 3 different times, it's like, okay, universe, I get the message now. I'll listen.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's going to hit you with a sledgehammer and go, I told you to listen.
Yeah. It's going to be like, see, right there.
And the same thing in reverse. So property deals are a classic actually for this. Just as you get breadcrumbs, I've found like there's resistance as well. There's resistance in the field. And if you're not meant to do something, these challenges, like these strong challenges, keep popping up. And the problem with entrepreneurs is they know how to do shit. They know how to solve shit. And so like, if there's challenges, it's okay. We can get around it. And you just keep working around it and you work your way around it. And then you end up in a deal that you really don't want to be in because you're so good at solving shit along the way to get yourself into the deal, but it might not have been the right deal. so now, and emotions, if emotions get involved and you get too attached to an outcome on something, like on something you want to buy or a deal you want to do, you know, you don't see the signs. But I've learned to like observe my environment and use the feedback from the universe along the way. If I'm being challenged over and over on the same thing that I'm trying to do, I need to just really stop and look at it and go, is this right? Is this, you know, and then sometimes abort. And then the right thing pops up that you were meant to go to, like, but you had to create the space for it and stop being attached to that other thing that you had going on to let the good
Right.
thing come in and get out of the
Yeah.
way.
How do you know when you finally abort a mission or like a business? Like what what's that process? Like, and you talked about it a little bit, but it's like I know as like an entrepreneur, as like someone like go, 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 like I'm gonna get this done. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, what's that point for you where you're just like, okay, it's just not working. I need to pivot.
Yeah. It's really hard, especially with startups and that, because you can get really attached to the outcome. And when you're putting in so much effort, um, you know, and to get anything to move or to launch, it takes a lot of energy and strength and courage and a lot of knockbacks, and you got to get through it. You got to get through the challenges. But I think uh, the way you know when to stop is there's signals that come from different places. Like if it's a startup, for example, is that a good topic
Sure, sure,
to
yeah,
you?
yeah. Just
Yeah.
any type of business or like opportunity where you're just like, okay, like I have to suck it up and either take an L on this or pivot, like maybe something else, another
Yeah.
opportunity came and I was just so stuck on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I think listening to your audience is really important. And I think meditation helps with all of this because it helps you just open your heart and get out of your own way. Because when you're really attached and dense and focused, like you can't, you're not very open. You're not very open to like what your environment's showing you. So I think listening to your users, listening to your audience, what are they telling you? If they're telling you they don't like your product in its current form, like don't flog a dead horse. You know, you can,
Yeah.
that's a sign to pivot. Also, like if you're doing something like doing a job or you're in a career or it's an opportunity that you're engaged in, um, the universe kind of gives you signals and feedback through various forms. Your physiology is actually one of them. So if you feel just like exhausted and uninspired and you start getting sick and stuff, like your body's telling you this is not the right path, your body's one way to get feedback. Also people around you, like people start saying things to you like, are you sure you're doing the right thing? And I don't want that to be, it's hard because, you know, sometimes when you've got a vision, some people around you think you're crazy, um, and you know that you're on the right track. What matters, the people you listen to is the ones that count. Like if you're selling something to someone, they're the people you listen to, your demographic, your audience. You don't listen to like your family and friends if they're giving you
All right.
crappy feedback. But if your audience and your demographic are giving you feedback to stop, then you got to listen to what they're saying. That's a worthy kind of feedback. Also weird shit happens, like if you fall over in your lounge room or like something falls on you, or like when your environment like shoves something in front of you, hopefully not a truck or a bus. But
Right.
this is like when the universe is trying to go boof. Are you listening? Like boof. See what you were doing
Yeah.
in that moment
Interesting. Yeah.
when you get, that's like trying to wake you up. That's what I mean about the order. It's everywhere. It's like trying
Yeah.
to get your
Well,
attention all the time.
yes. Like the main thing I got from that is listening, just like being in tune, listening. And you mentioned like the body. It's so important. Like I've learned the subconscious mind. So the subconscious mind, unconscious mind, subconscious mind, whatever the question is, it always answers first and it answers honestly. And then like our conscious mind starts justifying shit and it's like, oh, like logically, oh no, like it'll be okay like this. But it's like even when you talk to someone else, like their body language is going to tell you what the real answer is. Like, because the
Mm,
subconscious mind answers first and it answers honestly. So it's like when you have those gut feelings, that intuition, it's like that's why it's so important to fucking listen to it, because your subconscious mind has been recording every fucking thing in your entire life. And your
mm,
conscious mind's only catching like a glimpse here and there. So I
mm.
love that you said that, like listen to your body and listen to the
Yeah.
right people too. Like really listen to your audience, like
Yeah.
the people
Don't,
yeah.
yeah, don't ask advice from people that haven't done it before or aren't in your demographic, because the chances are they're not going to give you an accurate answer or an answer that's
Yeah.
useful.
Yeah. 100%. And even like that with like a meditation teacher or a yoga teacher or whatever teacher that you're looking at, or a person, like if you're going to meditate and then your friend who's never meditated is like, oh, meditation sucks, like you shouldn't meditate. It's like, yeah, you got to discern that and find someone that's actually gone through it. So
For
yeah,
sure. Yeah.
listening is, and that's what helped me out with my content, is like once I actually started listening to my followers and like see what they want, and
Mm,
then I'm like, oh, okay, like that's what, like it's not all about me and
mm,
what I want to put there and what I want.
mm,
It's about what people are consuming, the content, like the meditations. Like some of my best
mm,
meditations that get the most views are from, like, I get a DM, they're like, hey, can you do a meditation for this? And it's like, oh,
mm,
okay, like I didn't think of that.
mm,
Sure. And then
mm,
they do so well, and I'm like, wow, okay,
mm.
that was something completely that I wouldn't have done.
Universe just planted that person strategically there because you needed to share that meditation with all these other people who also needed it and wanted it.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Yeah.
like anxiety. What do you do for anxiety, like meditations?
Um, I don't want to sound like a wanker, but I don't really get I don't really get anxiety. I do get
Okay.
overwhelmed actually. I get
Okay.
overwhelmed. So yeah, my son gets anxiety though. And so like I meditate with him to help him with that. Um he won't sometimes go and do it himself, but if I sit there and do it with him, he's like really happy to do that. But overwhelm is a classic actually for me. And so just any kind of basic meditation actually just brings you present and it opens your focus. Because when we get probably when we get anxiety, it's because we're just seeing like this big mountain of stuff and it's freaking us out. Or for me with overwhelm, like I see like, oh my gosh, there's all this stuff, and I'm like, my focus is narrowed in on just the pile of stuff, and I'm not seeing all the time that I have to do it and all the people that are actually going to help me achieve that stuff. So like when I go into a meditation and open my focus and just sit with an open focus, um, then when I look at the problem all of a sudden is like teeny weeny tiny, because my
Yeah.
awareness is open. And we just blow things up when we get dense and really tight and really honed in on this thing, it blows up bigger than what it really is.
Mm, that's awesome
Mm.
advice. I'm gonna use that. That
I
is
love the open focus meditations. Like you can just sit with some relaxation music, but I actually have one on the app called Expansion. But it's basically when you just sit in the field or the void or the blackness and you just expand your awareness out, and you just sit there and you just keep going out in every direction and putting your awareness in every direction until you feel like so expanded. You become so vast. And that open focus just creates so much space to deal with like big world issues. Whatever you want to tackle, like you got so much space and free attention to be present in the moment or to deal with anything that comes your way.
it's so on point. Space. It's like having that space, and
Mm,
it's like having that space for yourself. Giving yourself that space, and then also like you give yourself that space, then you can give space to someone else. Like space is so, yeah, it's so like crucial
yes.
to like mental health, and
Yeah.
just like kind of sitting in with it. I'm gonna check that one out. That sounds like really awesome. Sending your awareness everywhere.
Yeah, it's really cool. And have you ever noticed, like when you just say then you create space for others, have you ever noticed that when you're just really chill and you've just come out of a meditation and then you come up against someone who's losing it or they're really stressed, just your energy, just standing with them, just your energy can actually change their vibration and just like
Yeah.
chill them out just from you standing with them, because you're emanating that frequency of
Hmm.
space and love and presence. And
Hmm.
then it's like gets interwoven with their field and they just,
Yeah. Yeah. It's like the law of entrainment is like, if you look it up on YouTube, you can
mm-hmm,
look up like metronomes,
mm-hmm.
and like there'll be all these metronomes, and like they'll all be going different directions when they start, and then they'll all sync together. And it's like
Oh yeah.
whoever's have you seen that?
Yeah. I've seen, I haven't seen the metronomes doing it, but I've heard that law. I've been taught
Yeah,
that
so
law.
it's awesome. And it's like what I've been taught is like whoever is like, in terms of like an 8 foot radius of people, whoever has like the more dominant intention or like state control, they can control their own state. If you can control your own state, then no one else can control your state, because you have
Mm,
like a strong state.
mm,
And like, so with the training that I'm doing, they're saying like do like um polar opposites to control your state. So you sit in a meditation and you like get into a sad state, and then you
mm-hmm,
get into happy states. You go back and forth, or you be into like decision or indecision. So you go through all these different states, polar opposites, so you can feel the state, so you know what state you're in. So when you're in a lower state, you can bring it up. It's like a higher state. And one of the things was to take an improv class. So like I'm in
mm-hmm.
improv right now. And all the things like you've been saying, like space, listening, like that's all a part of like improv. It's like you have to like connect with your partner. You have to like make
Mm,
eye contact and listen to what they say, or you're not going to know what to do next, you
mm,
know? And it's like giving that space to have your partner do their lines, so then you can give yourself space to do it. So
mm,
interesting that you said that, like state control, and
mm,
like it, love that you sit with your son, and
mm,
just you sitting with him helps his
mm,
anxiety. It's like when you
mm.
said that, it's like, man, the world needs more of that. Like just group meditation, like sitting
Yeah.
together and in
Yeah.
silence, and just yeah.
Yeah. The heart center is a really powerful center. And, when you're talking about changing your state, and the metronomes and that, what I understand about frequency is that love and gratitude has a really high frequency, and it can lift other frequencies, so that when you're in a state of love in a high frequency, you can lift others around you to that higher frequency. And when you're in the improv, and you open your heart, like if you're in a state where you're like going a bit animal and you can't be present and you can't listen, if you open your heart in that moment and tune into that frequency of love, it brings you so present, and you can help you
Yeah.
really listen and get right in that moment. But you can also use, like I actually use love frequency like in business meetings and stuff. And so like, yeah. So like if I'm in a negotiation, or if I've got like a pissed off client or something like that, I just open my heart and start radiating love from my heart.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And you see the person be like, oh, la, la, la. Oh, okay. I guess we can work through this. Or like, that's not, they open, they start to open up, and, you know, you can influence them with your energy.
That is 100% on point. Yeah, that's one of the things I just learned too, is like this, it's called a sphere of influence. It's the
Hmm.
same thing. It's like, but
Hmm.
you picture like a golden ball,
Hmm.
and then you take that ball from your heart and you just put it over that person. So pretty much
Oh,
like you
nice.
like, but it's like you visualize a golden ball and then wrap it around them with like loving light.
Hmm.
I haven't used it though.
That's
I'm
beautiful.
definitely, after you said that, I'm trying that for sure. Like I
I think I
literally
want to
just learned that.
I think I want to try that on my kids, like when they're trying to strangle each other, and I just want to like get that ball of light and put it over them, so they're like, oh, brother, sister, no more Bart Simpson, Lisa Simpson strangling.
Right? Try it
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, I'm going to try that out.
Yeah, just a sphere of golden light that just wraps around the other person. And yeah, that's a part of rapport. You know, like getting your state, your body, your physiology, like your state to a point where you're just like, yeah, have that love, that gratitude, and then just radiate it on it to other people.
Mm, mm.
Have you learned or meditated and learned so much of this stuff where like it actually takes you like two steps back and you just like might feel like more wobbly or like, man, if I can do this, then I can do like the opposite thing, like make myself sad. Like have you ever got to a point sometime in your practice where you it kind of sets you back a little bit until you went forward? If that makes any sense?
Um, I haven't like tried to make myself sad, but I've pissed myself off in meditation. Like definitely. When my body just wants to get up and my brain, like my mind is throwing all these stupid thoughts at me. And like sometimes it's like sitting in the fire when you're trying to make yourself meditate and sit
Yeah.
through it. You know, if your body just sometimes kicking like a mule. But from my perspective, like the mind is the master or your spirit. And it's just kind of like hanging out inside your body. And then your body's got all these programs and addicted to all this chemistry and stuff in 3D. And so your body thinks it's running the show. And we run on these habitual programs and we get up and we make our coffee and we have breakfast at the same time and da, da, da. But, you know, when we sit down in a chair to meditate, the body still thinks it's in control. But it's not actually, it's the mind's turn. It's our spirit's turn to just sit and unfold and leave this dimension for a moment. And when my body plays up, like, yeah, it can be really hard just to meditate.
Mm,
And then I get up
that
afterwards. I'm like, damn it, I only had 30 minutes to meditate. And that was a shit meditation. Damn it.
yeah.
Like, then I get angry about it. And like, that's just so unproductive. So I can change my state. And I go, I'm not going to have my day like this. Change my state, open my heart. Actually, I love my life. Look at my life. Cool. Let's go.
Yes. Just like that. Changing the state.
Yeah.
And it's like it is so simple, but like it gets complicates it because you're like, yeah, it shouldn't be that simple. You know, just coming back to gratitude, changing your state,
Yeah.
feeling good.
Especially when there's some weird ass lesson in front of you and you're like, I don't feel good about that. Like, why is this shit thing happening to me right now? You don't want to just change your state and feel gratitude all of a sudden because you're like, why is this happening to me? But then if we just kind of surrender and go, okay, there's like some silver lining here. I don't see it right now, but I must be missing. When you get to the point where you can govern yourself and go, I don't know why this terrible thing's happening. It looks terrible right now, but it actually could be some divine lesson. Then you can kind of just trust and change your state. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Like pause, give yourself some space, listen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And even
Sometimes on the, I was going to say, sometimes on my meditation and like spiritual journey, like there's some times where I get unlocks or I like learn things and I learn some practices where like I need like I need time to like process it. Like where like I've learned this and I feel this and then it's like I know like I have to control my own state, but like my state doesn't feel good and it's like I know I'm attracting this on other people. And then it's like almost to the point where like it's almost like a spiral where it's like, man, I'm just kind of in a lower state. Like I need to get myself into like a higher state. I've learned all these like tools, I've learned all these unlocks. Like I know it's powerful, but like I've just been on those old habits, you know? So it's like growing pains almost in my like my meditation spiritual journey where it's yeah, almost to a point where it's like overwhelmed and like kind of getting the unlocks, like unlocking the door. And that's what they say. Like if you unlocked all the doors of awareness, like you go nuts, like all at once. Because you're just not ready for it. Like you gotta take your time.
Yeah, like me, like having an epileptic fit with my face in a drain. I unlocked all too many doors at once and just like losing my shit in public. People
I wish
must
there's a video on that.
That person needs an ambulance right now.
Yeah, they're just stepping over you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fortunately, there were other people around doing some weird stuff as well. So they might have been like, oh, you guys are a cult for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
D- Um, who's some of your like best teachers? Like your go-to teachers? You said you went on some retreats. Like who are your go-to spiritual or meditation teachers?
Yeah. I love Dr. Joe Dispenza.
Yes, I love them
Yeah.
too.
He's actually really good at making uh bring together that science and spirituality and kind of just making it really accessible. And he's a really good teacher actually. um I There's lots of good YouTube and stuff from Dr. Joe. Another teacher I love is Dr. John DeMartini. He's
Okay,
a
yeah.
human behavioral specialist, but he has like a practice called the DeMartini method, and it encompasses universal laws, and it helps you really see all aspects. You know, we're talking about being an observer, so observing your life, observing your state. We're talking about that. Dr. DeMartini's work helps you kind of govern yourself in the moment and become the observer in the moment of like, what's the benefit of this terrible situation that I'm in right now, instead of just being in it and going, oh, this is crap. But also, if you become elated and really excited and pumped about a certain situation, sometimes you can be kind of stuck in a fantasy and only seeing one side of it, and you can't regulate your own emotions. It happens a lot with trading and things like that. Like if Bitcoin has a massive spike and you're like, yeah, I'm pumped, you get pumped about your crypto spike, and all that emotion, like it creates an attachment and irrational thinking. So if you can govern yourself in the moment and just bring yourself back to the center, which is gratitude, bring yourself back to a state of gratitude or just presence, you're seeing both sides, you're seeing all sides and things the way they are instead of lopsided from your human emotions. Um, yeah, so Dr. DeMartini has been an amazing teacher to me. I also love a guy called Dr. Amit Goswami. He teaches a lot on quantum consciousness, and his stuff's really heavy. He's a quantum physicist, but he talks a lot about physics and consciousness and how they come together. Another guy I love is called Dr. Stuart Hameroff. I think he's from Arizona. He's an anesthetist,
Oh
and
wow.
yeah, and he is actually studying the point at which consciousness re-enters the body when you come back conscious after being anesthetized. But he's kind of studying the correlations between consciousness and the field, and the physics elements and the brain, and like at what point does consciousness enter the brain? And yeah, I love those kind of rabbit hole topics. So, and I have some business mentors that I love too, actually, but they're all my spiritual teachers.
I love that. I'm gonna research some of those because I haven't heard some of those teachers, and I'm gonna go down on a YouTube rabbit hole like I do. I love that.
Yeah,
Just
that's awesome.
so much rabbit hole to go. It's a never ending thing,
Yeah.
right? I mean, it's never ending, right?
Yeah, it is never ending. And I'm really grateful for the thought leaders and the people who are so committed to just studying and finding this stuff out and making it accessible for us. Because honestly, I'm inspired to try it and meditate, but I don't really feel inspired to go and do a degree in quantum physics, and it gets a little bit too complicated. I,
Yeah, that does.
yeah, but I like the accessible part of it that these teachers are sharing, like via YouTube or Clubhouse, and we can get hold of it. So
Yeah, it's like knowledge is everywhere. It's like
it is. It's amazing.
it is. It's like a
Mm.
fire hose. You can get it from everywhere, and it's like processing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So where do you see yourself? Like what do you want to happen? What are you manifesting in the next 5 to 10 years? What's the intention?
Wow. You know, COVID really threw a kind of, well, I say a spanner in the works, but I'm sure it's a gift in many ways. But I was literally traveling the world with my family when COVID hit. And I'm free from my businesses. I have some wonderful people that run my businesses, and so I don't need to work, and I can do whatever I like, essentially. Except I can't leave Australia right now because we're not allowed to leave. We have to have the vaccine if we want to leave, whenever that comes in a year or two. And, it's all that topic. But let's imagine that the world is open and I can go anywhere I want. Even though I've got businesses and property and stuff, I'm most inspired by meditation and consciousness and having these conversations and exploring the unknown. And I really want to have the Med Collective running live events, big scale events where we can have people like yourself and our other guides come and do a teaching and run some meditations, or we do a panel of experts and we talk about topics like this. And all of the people that are part of the Med Collective community can come along and join us in these events. And we just have these crazy cool experiences together. We fall down in the grass and eat mud, and we do walking meditations. Oh, I want to have a rave meditation. Like, I want to have like some cranking music. And then when you learn to tune into all the energy centers and stuff, have a guide that can like guide a meditation while we're like kind of dancing with a music, and then like tuning into these frequencies, like tune into your pineal gland. Imagine like dancing to some trippy song like trance or something, and then you tune into your pineal gland and then you go fucking interdimensional.
Yes.
Like, that's the kind of stuff I'm doing. Like, yeah. I want to have those cool experiences.
So there with you on your vision. That's
or like open your heart.
Yes.
Like you don't need ecstasy. You just open your heart. You just at a rave and there's gorgeous music, ambient trance, and then you just crack your heart open. Your whole body just gets filled with oxytocin, and you just have like this full on love, like experience, love of life. And you did it yourself from opening your heart and tuning into that frequency of love.
I'm there. I am there. I can't wait. What's going to happen? I mean, you already threw it out to the universe.
Party time. Yeah.
5 years party time. What is that? 2026? It's happening.
Yeah.
That's the year. 2026. Boom. Get your tickets now.
Yeah, let's do that.
And where can everybody find you right now?
I don't put myself out there a lot. I got a little Instagram account, and people can come and find the Med Collective. Look on Instagram, the.med.collective. I've got a profile on Clubhouse. I'm going to be chatting on Clubhouse about topics like this, business topics. We're also going to talk about universal laws in business and how to apply those laws to your business. I'm super passionate about that. So yeah, look me up on Clubhouse or Instagram, or get hold of the app, and I'd love to see everyone.
Heck yeah, we'll throw it all in the description. So you better fucking read those descriptions. Click on those links. And was there anything else that I missed, or is there something that you like to talk about?
I would love to actually interview you, Brian, on all of your experiences and learnings and teachings. And I'd love to spend some time talking about you and not about me.
Sure, let's do it. Yeah. We'll have to do it. We'll have to do a Clubhouse too. That's my new thing as well. I'm learning it. I'm learning Clubhouse. We'll do like a discussion on there. It'll be fun. Or a podcast if you're going to do a podcast.
If there are people, whoever's listening to this right now, put your comments down. Anything I said or anything Brian said that you think is interesting, let us know and we can chat. Like, there's rabbit holes in every topic we discussed today, so we can go down any rabbit hole.
Yes. And if you have a Med Collective meditation idea you like us to record, throw it in the comments or send us a message. We'll see what we can do to make it happen.
Yeah, we can make it happen.
Yes.
Awesome. Thanks, Brian.
Well, thank you so much, Belle, for coming on.
Thank you.
I appreciate you. Love everything you do. And all this wisdom you gave us, especially me. I'm selfish. You gave me a lot of wisdom today. Thank you. I'm going to use it. I'm going to listen to this over and over again. And everybody listening, tell your friends, tell your family, tell your pet bird, your dog, tell everybody about this podcast episode. Share it and follow the Med Collective.
Thank you, Brian. You have a beautiful evening.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Namaste.
You. Namaste.